Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of the Idaho House Republicans podcast, where you get to learn a little bit more about the representatives that you have sent to the State House. Today, we're going to be joined by Representative John Weber, who represents Legislative District 34 in Seat A, and he's in his third term. Good afternoon to you, Representative John Weber.
Thank you, Victor. It's great to be with you.
Hey, let me tell you a little bit about John, okay? So he was raised in Michigan, so we know who he's picking in the NCAA finals this year, at least the men's finals. He attended Ricks College in Utah State. He owned and operated a small business for 30 years. Do you still own that business, or is that owned
family.
And operated? So it's
in the
okay,
family.
perfect.
My oldest son purchased that from us about 5 years ago. So
Oh, good.
We're
That's
still
good.
involved, though.
Praise God. And then 12 years, he was Madison County Commissioner, Board of Directors on the Rexburg Area Chamber of Commerce, past president of the Idaho Association of County Commissioners and Clerks. Most importantly, he's been married to the wonderful Heather for 34 years, and you have 5 children and you have 7 grandchildren.
That is correct.
All right, you updated your bio, because sometimes we talk to the representatives and they're off a few grandkids because they haven't updated their bio. So good on you for
And you
updating
hit it
your
right
bio.
on. She is the most important out
Yes,
of all of that.
that's why you're here. You're protecting your family. That's part of the reason. Protecting Idaho and protecting your family and your God, which is in the reverse order. But anyway, so let's talk about Legislative District 34. Where is it in the state, Representative Weber, and what do your constituents care about? Why have they sent you here?
Yes. District 34 is Madison County, which is in East Idaho. More familiar with folks is Rexburg,
Okay.
home of BYU Idaho.
Go, Idaho.
Go, Idaho. And, I feel they sent me here to obviously represent values that they, a family, faith,
Freedom.
freedom. I mean, we hear that quite often, but we can't overstate that.
And we live that here in Idaho like no other state, right?
Absolutely.
And what issues is it? Is it water? Is it agriculture? Is it urban issues? Is it what are the issues that housing affordability? What is the big issues that they care about?
I would say all the above. Certainly agriculture plays a big part of our community.
Right.
Also with the university and education and great public schools. Infrastructure is always a concern with fast-growing community.
Mm-hmm.
And as you mentioned, housing.
Right, housing affordability.
That's across the state. So
right. Well, you've done such a good job as a legislature that you're forcing people to come here to escape from the madness that they live in. The cows are coming home, literally. Californians, Oregonians, and Washingtonians.
Yes, and we live in a great state, Victor,
We do.
And it's evident by the fast pace and the growth.
So what made you 6 years ago run for the State House? Why did you want to become a part of this august body that we call the Idaho House?
As you mentioned, I spent 12 years as a county commissioner, and actually thought that might be it, but
God had other plans.
Plans change, and I received a phone call from the Central Committee saying, "Hey, there's a shift. There's a retirement of Senator Brent Hill, the legend in the Senate from our district."
Yep.
And Senator Ricks, or now Senator Ricks, then Representative Ricks,
Right.
moved to the Senate and vacated a seat, and they asked if I would consider running. Went through the process of family, prayer, thinking about it, and decided to run, and was.
And here you are.
And here I am, 6 years later.
Representative Weber, what committees have you been assigned to?
I serve on the Revenue and Tax Committee in the morning. Afternoon committees are local government and commerce and human resource.
Yeah, but don't sell yourself short. You have a special role on the Revenue and Tax, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I do serve as the vice chair, and it's
Yes.
been a great experience serving with Chairman Cannon.
Fantastic, and thank you for your work there, because we enjoy the $6 billion of tax cuts that have come out of the Revenue and Taxation Committee over the last 5 years. And now with a big, beautiful bill, another $150 million this year, another $175 million this year. We can't get enough of the tax cuts.
Yes, and that is a focus, but I will say that it does bring some challenges as we balance the budget and with state agencies, and have to also consider the impact it does have on families. And we're we're aware of that, and we'll certainly be working towards making sure, obviously, we fulfill our constitutional obligation to balance the budget, but also take care of our families.
Now, personally, when you look at tax cuts, which ones do you think that should be cut the most? Are you a property tax focused? Are you income tax focused? Are you, the business and individual side? Which one do you think has the most impact in terms of, philosophically, do you really want to see dealt with the most?
Well, property tax is a local tax. That is, it is collected and spent locally through our counties and cities. So, we as a state, as a revenue tax, we can set policy that impacts property tax.
And you have.
And we have through raising homeowners exemption and, the circuit breaker and exempting folks like military that are folks that are disabled and so on and so forth, veterans.
And you did the school modernization fund, which cuts the local levies and tax burden at the local county level, which can be very helpful.
So again, to be competitive and invite corporate activity into the state, certainly the income taxes, our corporate income tax and individual income tax is going to play a big role of that. And we focused on that the last few years. We have not taken that up this year because of
the big BB.
The big, beautiful bill, which, I will say in our family, we say there's a big, beautiful barn that we're building in our backyard. So we got a OB3 personally.
So big, beautiful barn backyard. You got the 4B going.
4, yes.
Wow, that's awesome. Anyway, thank you for your perspective there. Hey, let's turn now to a couple of pieces of legislation that you have been involved in, and one of them is House Bill 533, and it talks about a vehicle registration.
Yes.
What does that bill do, and why did you bring it? And tell us where it is now. Is it a law? Where is it? Tell us about the bill.
The governor did sign it. It is law. It will go into
Congratulations.
effect July 1st.
And what's the new law?
And the new law is that the registration sticker that everyone is required to place on their license plate is no longer required. It's just a valid license plate. Now, let's be clear. You still have to register your vehicle.
Yes, you do.
And folks, sometimes they say, oh, well, I don't have to do it. No, you have to register your vehicle. It's just you won't receive the sticker. Your license plate will serve as your registration. The reason for the bill and what got me started on it is last summer when I registered a vehicle and was handed the sticker, and it just triggered in my mind of, why are we doing this? What's the purpose? Well, I know the purpose, but how long? What's the cost savings? What's the impact? And as I studied that out, realized that there's a $300,000 savings from that program.
From not having to print them.
Exactly, and material and administration. And ITD retains that $300,000 for use in other areas that would be more impactful to their mission as in transportation. Folks, your citizens are really excited about it.
Yeah.
Law enforcement all over the place. As I visit with my friends in law enforcement and learn that, even at a glance, there's 3 colors in play at any given time during the
red,
year.
blue, and
white.
Yeah, white. There you go.
So knowing that and knowing that they're all 3 in play, the glance at the colors no longer
doesn't help.
And then we learn that 100% of the time when they pull you over, they're running your plate to get all the information they need on that vehicle.
Right.
And so with the savings, with knowing what, the process that it goes through, we felt like this was time to move on past the sticker. I'm sure that it served its purpose over time. But as we all know that times change and there's better systems in place.
So think about this, Idahoans. A few years ago, they took away the mandatory testing for, like, remember you used to have your engine
admissions,
admissions
yes.
testing. They took that away, and then this year you don't have to replace your plate every 10 years.
That's exactly right.
And now you don't have to have the sticker. So you notice that we're trying to make it easier on people
Less
here in
regulation.
Idaho. Less regulation, which is a good thing. So thank you for bringing
In
that.
fact, I will say, Victor, that we are one of the least regulated states
Yes,
in
we
the
are.
nation.
Praise God for that. And again, you have to register your car because your license plate and your registration is what you're going to need. You no longer need the sticker.
Absolutely.
So people should realize that this doesn't mean you don't have to register your car. Let's talk about House Bill 555. It deals with solid waste, which sounds like a pretty boring topic, but it's been in the news lately, and this is another bill that you brought. What does this do? What problem did you see, and what is this bill trying to do to solve that problem?
So when I served as a county commissioner, we organized the East Idaho Solid Waste District, which included 4 counties: Clark, Fremont, Teton, and Madison counties. And it deals with household garbage. So when folks are throwing their refuge in the
bins,
and they haul it to the curb and they forget about it, a curb hauler will pick it up, haul it to the transfer station, weigh it in, and then we take it and haul it to the landfill. And what we did is with the district is we developed a new landfill, and it's not popular. It's kind of sad, if you will, in some ways, that we're putting garbage back into the ground. But and you look at recyclables and you look at diversion and different programs, but it still goes in the ground, most of it. And so really what this bill does is rewrite the solid waste code in Idaho, and it removes the duplicate regulatory authority. There was the Department of Health and DEQ. Both had regulatory authority.
And DEQ stands for Department of Environmental Quality. Okay.
And we removed the health districts and put it squarely with Department of Environmental Quality to do all your inspections, your approvals of your site plans, and so on and so forth. So that was a big lift, especially for the solid waste industry and the association. So we're excited that we're able to work with all our partners, including the haulers, the counties, the cities.
That's a lot of constituents.
And folks that help write that and then get it through.
And where is that process. Now? Is that law, or where is that?
That is also law. The governor signed it shortly just after the sticker bill. So
nice, 2 for 2.
We were excited about that.
Now, there's another bill that you have your name on, and it's House Bill 760, and it's about a housing workforce. So tell me about that bill.
Yes, and
was that heard today?
That was heard yesterday. And actually failed in the Senate.
That's what I heard.
Lost one. I'm sure we will.
Tell us what the bill did and why you wanted to bring it. What was the problem that this bill was trying to solve?
So after the past 3 or 4 years, we've been working on this bill and working with all the partners, especially in the counties, which would give for-profit businesses, developers, to work with an Idaho nonprofit to develop a housing for basically workforce, and it's guaranteed 60% of the average median income in that area. So you think about that, and you run 60%, that equates about $55,000 in Idaho. When you think of who's making $55,000 roughly, and this is give or take, but we're looking at teachers and emergency services,
people we desperately need.
People we desperately need, but need a leg up into affordable housing while they can save and move to into a home or to the next level. So That, well, the thing that, what it really did was not only that, but also give the county commissioners 100% of the option to give a partial or a full property tax exemption. And anyway, it made it through the House side, went through committee on the Senate side, and then when it got to the Senate floor, it actually the first it
tied
on a tie.
Right.
And the president or lieutenant governor, who's the president of the Senate,
broke the tie
and voted it down. They went to a reconsideration,
the
which
next
they
day.
did the next day. And then it failed on I think 20 to 15 votes, something like that. So,
Okay.
Disappointing, but that's the process. And that's what happens with legislation. And a lot of times it will come back even better. So
Right.
we'll look forward to that.
Right. People have to always realize, and this has been a continuing theme in a lot of our shows, is that some bills will take a decade. I mean, the House Bill 93, which was, relief for the tax credit for education,
Yes.
that was started 10 years ago, right? And Representative Mendive talked about an issue with the tribes and water, where he's been working on that for 12 years. So,
Yeah.
this is what happens. Sometimes bills, they're great ideas, but they just need a little bit more tweaking to get it just right. Like Baby Bear's potion, right? I mean,
Right.
porridge, just right. Not
Well,
too
we
hot,
want
not too cold.
Yeah, we want the system to run slower. We sometimes gripe that government is slow. Well, imagine if we were just blowing things out of here left and right. And sometimes, some folks feel that as well. But the process is in place for a purpose, and
Right.
and it runs slow in most cases.
And I'm sure you'll learn the lesson from whatever was the message that was sent to you by the Senate, and you'll
Yes.
make some changes to the bill, and it'll come back next year and be House Bill number 1 and be taken care of.
There you go.
Maybe, right? So let's talk a little bit about back to your rev and tax side. Typically it's Idaho that wants to drive the tax cut. Right now, this year we had the big beautiful bill,
Right.
and we've had the Idaho Act last year, which was a 3% cut. Next year, 1%. This year, the fiscal year 2026, 1% additional cut to 4%. Next year, 5% cut. So how do you start weighing when you feel like Idaho can restart its drumbeat of always wanting to lower the tax burden, give more money back to the taxpayers? How do you weigh that with the realities of the budget?
The process, revenue and taxation is the policy side. And,
Right.
And JFAC,
Is the spending side, right?
is the appropriation spending side. And of course, ratified or voted on by either the House or the Senate. So to answer your question, it's not easy. We have a state to run, and folks know that. And we look at all of our departments, and of course they pitch their needs to JFAC.
Right.
But when we look at really dealing with tax policy, usually with direct impacts like the property tax exemption or the food credit, the grocery credit.
Grocery tax credit,
Yeah, the grocery tax credit.
Yep.
Things that directly impact policy to Idahoans. And I'll be straight up and honest that I wasn't a fan of the additional 1%. I think that between the big, beautiful bill and the tax cuts we've previously made, we need to let things settle in, see where we come out. Let's see where our revenues end up. And so far, it looks like our revenues are starting to chip up a little bit. And so
Right.
we want to see where we land and not just be so aggressive that, it's always a feel good. And this is an election year. It's always good to go back and say, hey, we cut your taxes, but it's not good or feel good when we have a negative impact on
On a service that we might
on a
need to
service
provide,
or
right?
families. We hear a lot about, families that are impacted with in-home health care. that they're providing for a family member. Our hospitals, more rural hospitals, the impact it has on them.
Right.
And so there is a balance there. We have to be careful, and certainly we weigh all those options.
Let's talk one last thing I meant to ask earlier is tell us a little bit about the business that you ran for 30 years and now continues in the legacy of your son.
My wife, Heather, and I, and it was really started by her mother.
Oh, wow.
Was a silk flower backdrop for weddings. And then when Heather and I graduated, went back to Rexburg from Utah State, and we took over and bought it from her parents, we changed it to clothing. So we got involved with tuxedos, wedding gowns, day wear, and then in 2000, we started into the menswear. So now today, 35 or so years later, we have we sell a lot of suits and a lot of wedding dresses, and we deal with a lot of special days for people.
Right, so you have a lot of happy people come by. They're going to the prom. They're going to get married.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Spread and joy is a good business. And by the way, now third generation.
And third generation, we're excited about that.
Very
JC's
cool.
doing a tremendous job, and I'm glad that he's involved because he's got a lot of energy and he's a lot smarter.
Go JC. So I imagine that's John something.
Jonathan Craig.
There you go.
And I'm just John.
Okay. So that's not one of these junior things.
No.
Okay. Anyway, we're so grateful that you spent some time with us today, Representative John Weber. You represent Legislative District 34A. You're in your third term. And as we always say before we sign off, God bless the great state of Idaho.
Amen.
And thank you once again, Representative John Weber, for joining us on the Idaho House Republicans podcast.
Great to be with you, Victor. Thank you very much.
Sunrise on the Snake River Plain, red, white, and blue in the window pane. Work boots dusty from yesterday, but we're back at it the Idaho way.